Good morning everyone. Today I am presenting an interesting case. History. 20-year male patient presented with hyperpigmented well-defined macules over back, upper chest and both hands since 6 years. Past history nothing significant. Family history nothing significant. Personal history. Diet was vegetarian. Bowel bladder habits were normal and regular. Sleep was adequate. On general physical examination, there was no any pallar, icterus, cyanosis, clubbing or lymphadenopathy. On systemic examination, there was no any abnormality detected on examination of cardiovascular, respiratory, central nervous and abdominal system. Investigations. Hemoglobin was 12.3 gram per deciliter. WBC count was 5500 cells per cubic millimeter. Differential count: neutrophil 62%, lymphocyte 30%, monocyte 6%, eosinophil 2%. RBC count was 3.5 million cells per cubic millimeter. Other parameters such as packed cell volume, mean corpuscular volume, MCH, MCSC, platelet counts were within normal limits. On gross examination, we received a single container containing skin covered tiny linear bit of grey white tissue measuring 0.5 cm. Coming to microscopy, it is a scanner view. In this image we can see a keratinized stratified squamous epithelium beneath which are some nest of cells in the dermis and fibrocollagenous stroma. It is a low power view. In this view we can see epidermis showing keratinized stratified squamous epithelium and dermis showing some nest of cells and fibrocollagenous tissue. This is again a low power view. In this view also we can see here in the dermis there are nest of cells. This is a high power view. In high power view we can see keratinized stratified squamous epithelium with a melanin pigment, and in the dermis we can see some nest of cells. In this view we can see nest of cells. These cells are round to oval with scant amount of cytoplasm with a fine nucleus with fine chromatin, and the nests are separated by fibrocollagenous tissue. Section study shows epidermis, dermis. Epidermis shows stratified squamous epithelium. Upper dermis shows nest and cord of cells which are small, round and having scant amount of cytoplasm with regular nuclei with fine chromatin. The nests are separated by thin fibrocollagenous stroma. The deeper dermis shows fibrocollagenous tissue with adnexal structures. So the diagnosis was intradermal nevus. Introduction. The term nevus may refer to a variety of hematomas and neoplastic lesions in the skin. Melanocytic nevus is generally considered to be a benign neoplastic proliferation of melanocytes, leading to a localized pigmented or non-pigmented lesion, usually less than 5 mm in diameter. Nevus vary considerably in their clinical appearance. 5 clinical types are flat lesions, slightly elevated lesions, papillomatous lesions, dome-shaped lesions, and pedunculated lesions. The first 3 types are always pigmented, and the latter 2, that is dome-shaped and pedunculated lesions, may or may not be pigmented. Histologic types of nevus are: first is junctional nevus, which is confined to only epidermis. Second one is compound nevus, which constitutes epidermis and dermis both, and an intradermal nevus where melanocytes are only confined to only the dermis. Most small flat lesions represent either a lentigo complex or a junctional nevus. Flat lesions or lesions with a flat periphery 5 mm or more in diameter with irregular indefinite borders and pigment variegation are clinically dysplastic nevi. Most slightly elevated lesions or some papillomatous lesions represent compound nevi. Most papillomatous lesions and nearly all dome shaped and pedunculated lesions that are not pigmented represent intradermal nevi. This is image showing types of melanocytic nevis. Junctional nevi shows maculopapillar region, while compound nevi shows some papillar lesion and intradermal nevi shows nodular lesion. Melanocytic nevi are only rarely present at birth. Most nevi appear in adolescence and early adulthood. In this age period, they may occur episodically or widespread eruptive nevi. Occasionally, new nevi arise in midlife and rarely in later life. Except for occasional cosmetic significance, nevi are important only in relation to melanoma, for which they are risk markers, stimulants, and potential precursors. Coming to intradermal nevus, it is the term given to nevus in which melanocytes are in the dermis. This is the most common adult type of nevus. It may be papillomatous, pedunculated, or flat. Intradermal nevi show essentially no junctional activity. The upper dermis contains nest and cord of nevus cells. Sometimes the multinucleated nevus cells may be seen, in which small nuclei lie either in a rosette-like arrangement or close together in the center of the cell. These nevus giant cells differ significantly in appearance from the irregularly and even bizarre shaped giant cells that are seen frequently in spes nevis and occasionally also in melanoma. As a result of shrinkage during tissue processing, cleft may form between some nests of nevus cells and the surrounding epidermis, as well as stroma, the latter leaving a defect that stimulates a lymphatic space and thus mimics lymphatic invasion. Occasionally, intradermal nevi are devoid of nevus cells nest in the upper dermis and contains only spindle-shaped nevus cells embedded in the abundant loosely arranged collagenous tissue. These nevi may be referred to as neural nevi. Some intradermal and less commonly compound nevi show hyperkeratosis and papillomatosis, which may be associated with a less like downward growth of epidermal strands and with horn cysts. Such nevi resemble seborrheic keratosis in their epidermal architecture. Occasionally, intradermal nevi contain scattered large fat cells within the aggregates of nevus cells. This could represent a regressive phenomenon in which fat cells replace involuting nevus cells or alternatively adipocyte metaplasia within the stroma of the nevus. Some intradermal nevi, including variants of spindle and epithelioid cells nevi, induce marked deposition of sometimes hyalinized collagen. Such nevi are described as sclerosing variant. In occasional otherwise typical dermal nevi, rare mitosis are found in the dermis. This phenomenon has been described in children and in association with pregnancy. If there are no other indicators of malignancy, it should be reported as nevi with mitosis and generally recommend complete excision. The possibility of nevoid melanoma should be seriously considered in such lesions. Differential diagnoses are blue nevi, spes nevi, dysplastic nevus, halo nevus, and balloon cell nevus. Blue nevi. Microscopically, it is characterized by an ill-defined deep dermal proliferation of elongated or dendritic dermal melanocytes, which can extend up to subcutis. Usually, there is abundant amount of melanin pigment. There is a band of uninvolved dermis between epidermis and the lesion, and the junctional activity is usually absent. Spes nevis. Microscopically, most spes nevi are of compound type with a prominent intradermal component. About 5 to 10% are junctional and 20% or more are intradermal. They are composed of spindle cells epithelioid cells, or an admixture of both. The spindle cell variant is characterized by cigar-shaped cells with large nuclei and prominent nucleoli. In this image, we can see spindle cell variant of Spis nives, which is having nest of cells, and the cells are cigar-shaped cells with large nuclei. Dysplastic nevus. Microscopically, most dysplastic nevia are compound nevia exhibiting marked lentiginous proliferation of melanocytes at the dermoepidermal junction. The dermis shows eosinophilic and laminar fibroplasia, focal perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate, and vascular dilation. These features collectively referred as architectural atypia and are usually matched by a mild to moderate degree of cytological atypia manifested by nuclear hyperchromasia, prominent nucleoli, and dusty melanin pigment. Coming to halonevius, it is also called as Nicoderma acquisitum centrifugum. Microscopically, it is characterized by a heavy infiltration of the nevus by lymphocytes and histiocytes and is thought to represent the expression of a host immune response. The arrow in this image are showing histiocytes. Balloon cell nevus. It is another unusual variety of nevus identified by the presence of large pale melanocytes with foamy cytoplasm. It may be result of biochemical alteration in melanin synthesis. In this image, we can see tumor cells arranged in nest, and the cells are having voluminous pale cytoplasm. These are my references. Thank you.